Good evening, Belize. It's Friday and we've got a packed newscast for you tonight. I'm Jamie Rock and here's what's making headlines. Gunfire erupts on Alavera Street. 5 men shot in the Lake Independence area. Convicted murderer Danny Mason gets 24 more years added to his sentence. The Briceño administration is under scrutiny after spending $250,000 on a used Toyota Land Cruiser. Plus, the Belize Land Tax Service is gearing up for a major transition to a semi-autonomous body. And shoppers, take note, another GST-free weekend is coming, but only for school supplies. We've got these stories and more coming up after the break. News 5 starts now. Stay with us.
Gino Jennings of the First Church of Our Lord Jesus Christ every Sunday morning at 8 a.m. exclusively on Channel 5 Belize. The Truth of God with Pastor Gino Jennings every Sunday at 8 a.m. on Channel 5 Belize.
Is your classroom in need of a transformation? Benny's B-Box is giving one lucky teacher the ultimate classroom transformation experience. Just fill out the Google Forms on our Facebook and Instagram pages. Be sure to tag and share hashtag Benny's Classroom Makeover. But don't wait, submissions end July 31st, 2025. Visit our social media pages for more info. Don't miss your chance to get back to school ready with Benny's and B-Box.
Welcome back. What started as a laid-back evening among friends ended in chaos. 5 men shot, rushed to the hospital, and a city once again shaken by gun violence. As tensions between rival groups in Belize City continue to rise and violent clashes among fishermen escalate, police are stepping up their presence. But there's more brewing beneath the surface. The government is pushing for public support of the controversial 13th Amendment, a bold proposal that would give police sweeping powers in designated zones, create a special gang and gun court, and retroactively legalize past states of emergency. It's a move that has many Belizeans asking tough questions, but officials say it's a necessary step to get ahead of crime. News 5's Brittany Gordon has this story.
Earlier this month, Belize City was rocked by tragedy. A mother and her son, Evadne and Luke Jones, lost their lives in a brutal act of violence tied to ongoing tensions between rival groups. Since then, police say they've stepped up enforcements to try and get ahead of the bloodshed. But on Thursday night, just after 10 p.m., gunfire once again shattered the calm. This time on Alavera Street, where 5 men were caught in a hail of bullets. Assistant Commissioner of Police Gilberto Romero, head of the Crime Investigation Branch, has the latest on this disturbing attack.
On Thursday, police responded to a shooting incident at Alavera Street in Belize City. Upon the arrival, they received information that 5 persons had been shot. They were all taken to the KHMH for treatment. They have all been treated and are all in a stable condition. They were identified as Aristotle Hughes, James Young, German Smart, Douglas Gill, and Lisma Williams.
All 5 victims are said to be in stable condition tonight, and one of them, Douglas Gill, who was shot in the calf, has already been released from the hospital. The others weren't as lucky, suffering gunshot wounds to the neck, arm, finger, hip, shoulder, and even in the abdomen. According to Assistant Commissioner of Police Gilberto Romero, the attackers rolled up on bicycles before opening fire.
Information is that all of them were at a yard at Alavera when 2 male persons came on a bicycle and fired several shots towards their direction. We have several persons in custody in regards to this investigation.
Police have yet to establish a motive and are investigating whether the attack is gang-related.
There are several issues that are being looked at, one being they are fishermen and also a rivalry between 2 groups in that area.
Was any one of them a specific target?
All of them were at the area and all of the shots were fired towards all of them.
Police aren't taking any chances. Officers are now on the ground in Lake Independence area, working to prevent any possible retaliation after Thursday night's shooting.
Yes, we have several persons in custody. Operations continue in that area, and we will enforce our patrols in that particular area.
Several men have been detained, but no arrests have been made at this time. Brittany Gordon for News 5.
A family dispute turned deadly on Wednesday night, leaving a young man dead, a young woman dead, and a community in shock. 20-year-old Claritza Granillo Rodriguez was fatally stabbed, allegedly by her own brother-in-law, after an argument over something as simple as the volume of music in their home. The accused, 23-year-old Iris Gavarete, fled the scene but was tracked down by police the next day and is now facing a murder charge. The family had only recently moved to Belize from Honduras, hoping for a fresh start. Instead, they're now at the center of a heartbreaking tragedy. Assistant Commissioner of Police Gilberto Romero has more on the arrest.
He then referenced the murder in Spanish law code. We have since arrested and charged Iris Gavarete, a Honduran national, for the crime of murder.
Was she killed because she was playing music loud?
That is the information we have. The dispute began when they were playing music and they had been asked to lower the music.
Does she have a history of domestic violence in this relationship?
Not that we know of. They recently came to Belize.
3 of her family members got detained before the perpetrator was detained. Why were they detained?
An investigation had to be carried out to determine what actually transpired. So they were brought in, and the investigation has now been concluded, and that one person has been charged.
Originally, the police had put out a wanted poster. Where did they end up finding this?
The suspect was found in Santa Elena in the Cayo district.
Was he hiding in somebody else's? Was somebody else holding him?
No, he was in an area at an abandoned house.
He's the man once known by multiple names: Danny Mason, Rajesh Prasad, Rajesh Olet, and Ted Olet. But But now William Danny Mason is now known for something far more chilling, the brutal beheading of Pastor Llewellyn Lucas. And today, Mason's time behind bars just got longer. Already serving a 35-year sentence for murder, Mason has now been handed 2 additional 24-year sentences for kidnapping, one for Lloyd Friesen and another for his wife, Rosie. The sentences will run at the same time, but here's the twist. They'll only kick in after his murder sentence ends in 2051. That means Mason, now 55, could be behind bars until the year 2075, when he'll be 95 years old. Justice Nigel Pilgrim made it clear, this could be life behind bars. A night of fun in Belmopan took a terrifying turn for a police officer who ended up in the hospital after a brutal attack. 29-year-old Oliver Giron, a resident of the capital and a member of the police department, was out socializing at a local nightclub when things suddenly spiraled. Just after 1 a.m., Giron stepped outside to change his shirt, but instead of heading back inside, he was ambushed by 4 men, beaten and stabbed. Thankfully, his injuries weren't life-threatening. He was treated for a stab wound to the shoulder and has since been released from the Western Regional Hospital. Giron says it was a good Samaritan who came to his rescue and rushed him to safety. Tonight, police are investigating what led to the attack and who was behind it. The 13th Amendment is one of the most talked about pieces of legislation right now, and it's stirring up a lot of opinions. Some people are strongly against it, others are all for it, and then there are those who aren't quite sure what it's even about. So we hit the streets once again to find out what do Belizeans really know about the 13th Amendment.
Do you know what is the 13th Amendment?
Well, nothing matter to me, Mama. First thing I hear about it. First time I hear about it.
When it comes to the 13th Amendment, it doesn't matter what we the people have to say. The government will still do what they want to do, and it's still unfair for the whole people, because if we up against it, they will still do their utmost. So that's something about it. It's unfair, and it's unfair, and it's unfair.
The 13th Amendment is a possibility. I cannot guarantee it. You understand? But we are flexible, and we're going to stay equipped with knowledge. But after occurrence, what can I do? Before occurrence, I can possibly make any decision favorable. But after, we do not know. So the 13th Amendment, I think they should exercise. They have the rights to exercise.
More news is coming up after the break.
For 50 years, Quality Poultry Products has been part of your table, your family, your Belize. Now it's time to celebrate at the Belmopan Branch Grand Anniversary Fair, happening Saturday, July 19th from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., with store hours extending till 8 p.m. Hosting the day is the legendary Pasam, with DJ Leanne Recinos on the tunes, and the live performance by the talented Jenny Lee Cruz. There's fun for everyone, bouncy house for the kids, games and giveaways, watermelon and hot wings eating contests, shake the box and shake it to the max competition, and even a mechanical bull challenge. Save while you celebrate. 10% off groceries. Some restrictions apply. Specials on country meats. Legs in bag 50 cents off per pound. Neck and back only $12 per crate. Come out with your family and neighbors for a full day of food, fun, music, and big savings. Quality Poultry Products. Proudly serving Belize for 50 years. 50 years. 50 years.
We started by the joke, by the joke. Let's dance. and a girl in the middle. Like the ground we need to find the middle. For the sake of peace of mind, so the middle of the road is where you'll find me and my friend and them, because we work so hard for we deserve a party. We deserve it.
Next one.
I got you. Man, my house done.
Already?
Hey, now who that?
KTV contestant by texting the number of votes followed by a space, then your contestant's number, and send it to smart code 585. Here are this week's contestants.
If you look into her eyes, you'll see the strand of love. They're saying, this is my message to you, you. Take my
you didn't dip on the grind, just bear this in my mind. These streets don't love you like I do.
Wrap my arms around you. Oh, a woman like you. Oh, I don't deserve it. To experience to be taken for a stroll. To experience for someone to rock and roll. Have no fear for atomic energy, 'cause none of them can stop the time.
We were meant to be, girl, you've always been my lover, always been my lover. You don't mind when you waste your time coming up with some stupid line, influencing the youth, and it's not a line, or take a line.
You can change the world today, and I'm living proof that crime doesn't pay.
Remember, voting ends on Sunday at midnight, and don't forget to tune in every Tuesday at 8 p.m. only on Great Jubilees Media.
Scroll and my data is done.
Wait, who said anything about running out? Smart just dropped a more powerful plan that now includes social media data, so you can scroll till your fingers cramp. Visit any Smart showroom to sign up today, because connectivity just got even better. Smart, bringing people together.
And now to a story that's raising more than a few eyebrows. News 5 has gotten its hands on a copy of a government contract, this one tied to the purchase of a pre-owned 2024 Toyota Land Cruiser VX. The seller, Car Guys Belize Limited. The price tag, a whopping $250,000. That's right, for a used vehicle. Now, to be fair, a dealership's price usually includes shipping, duties, and all the bells and whistles to get the car on the lot. But still, does that justify a $250,000 spend of public funds? That's the question many are asking. We'll be digging deeper into this purchase and what it means for transparency in government spending and in another newscast. Tonight, we're pulling back the curtain on a government contract that's raising questions and eyebrows. Just weeks before the last general election, a high-level appointment was quietly signed off, one that gives a retired cop a powerful new role inside the Ministry of Home Affairs and New Growth Industries. Thanks to a Freedom of Information request by News 5, we now have the documents and the details on what Special Advisor Aaron Guzman is being paid, what he's expected to do, and why this deal could have been a legal headache if the election had gone the other way. Paul Lopez has the full story.
Thanks to a Freedom of Information request made by News 5, we now have a clearer picture of the role and rewards of Special Advisor Aaron Guzman at the Ministry of Home Affairs and New Growth Industries. Minister Karim Musa has handed over the official documents, Guzman's contract, and the agreement that gives him access to ministry vehicles. The timing? That's what's interesting. The contract was signed on February 19, 2025, just weeks before the March 12th general election. If the government had changed hands, this deal could have sparked some serious legal questions, but that didn't happen. So, what's in the deal? Guzman, the retired Deputy Commissioner of Police, is being paid $70,044 for a one-year term. On top of that, he gets access to ministry vehicles and a government-paid SIM card. And when the year's up, he's entitled to a gratuity of 20%. That's an extra $14,000. But what exactly is he being paid to do? According to the contract, Guzman is expected to provide expert advice and strategic guidance to both Minister Musa and CEO Shahrul Carr. His portfolio includes everything from law enforcement and public safety to the development of new growth industries. That means analyzing trends, researching best practices, recommending strategies, and helping shape policies that could impact national security and economic development. It's a tall order, and it raises a few questions. Is the ministry leaning too heavily on one advisor to steer the ship on such critical issues? And where does that leave the Commissioner of Police, Dr. Richard Rosado, in all of this? What role does he play in shaping the future of law enforcement? How about those ministry vehicles? Guzman wasn't assigned a specific one. Instead, he has access to any available vehicle in the ministry's fleet, strictly for official duties. So at face value, Aaron Guzman isn't just a special advisor. He's become a central figure in shaping policy for law enforcement, public safety, and economic innovation in Belize. And when we asked Minister Musa back in June why CEO Shahrul Carr couldn't take on these responsibilities herself, here's what he had to say.
This is not a crony contract. You're talking about somebody with institutional experience and knowledge as a Deputy Commissioner of Police. And as the Deputy Prime Minister mentioned yesterday, the act of governance, no doubt today, requires all hands on deck. None of you are asking, how is it that you get the results each year that you do? That right now we stand 14 murders less than last year even. That was a record year. Nobody's looking at that. And I'm not saying that all of that is attributed to Mr. Guzman. I'm saying that there are several pieces to this puzzle, starting first and foremost with the officers of our police department who have been doing a phenomenal job in terms of the training that they've been getting, in terms of the LIU interventions that we have, in terms of all of these programs that have been implemented, and the way that crime has evolved so much. We're not talking now just about gang violence or domestic violence. We're talking about cyber security. We're talking about right now our ministry is being asked and tasked to look at animal welfare. as you recall, the incident that happened with the horse. And so there's a lot of policies and strategies that somebody like Mr. Guzman can offer his advice to the ministry, not to the CEO, because you ran with that as though it's some special advisor to the CEO. I think it was you that said that, Courtney. It's not just the CEO, it is to the entire ministry that he assists in terms of the policies, programs, and strategies.
News 5 will be keeping a close eye on the impact of Aaron Guzman's work as special advisor and whether his strategies truly move the needle at the Ministry of Home Affairs and New Growth Industries. Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.
For weeks, we've been tracking the growing calls for unity within the opposition, and now another major shakeup. Over the weekend, what was supposed to be a key National Party Council meeting ended in yet another breakdown. The fallout? Chairman Michael Perifit has resigned again. But what was this meeting doomed from the start? Documents obtained by News 5 suggest there were serious disagreements even before the meeting began about how it should be run and who should be in the room. News 5's Paul Lopez has been digging into the details. Here's his report.
The United Democratic Party is facing what may be its deepest internal divide yet. And just when there seemed to be a plan to bring the party back together, things took another chaotic turn. A 12-point unity proposal was drafted after Michael Perifit returned as chairman. But instead of bridging the gap, it widened it. One major sticking point, a recommendation to exclude all constituency leaders who run under the Tracy ticket from the National Party Council list. That didn't sit well with opposition leader Tracy Panton and her team. The proposal was meant to set the stage for a smoother NPC meeting on July 12th, but instead, it ended in disarray. And Perifit has since resigned again.
You have these standard bearers who ran on supporting the Honorable Tracy Panton, and they had some who supported Shine. Show me where those candidates who supported the Honorable Tracy Panton were ever expelled from the party. You show me. I asked them, show me.
Recommendations were also made to exclude Tracy Panton and Patrick Faber from the NPC meeting and to have the NPC reinstate them and all of Panton's candidates as the first item on the NPC agenda.
If the meeting was genuinely to bridge the gap, to bridge the divide, to hold hands and say, it's not going to be perfect, but let's find a way to move forward together, there would be no reason to exclude a former party leader, the lead senator for us in the Senate, and the caretaker for Collett.
There's also some confusion surrounding the list of delegates used for Saturday's National Party Council meeting. A recommendation had been made to go with the list that existed before the October 2024 meeting led by Tracy Panton. But here's the thing, there are now questions about whether that actually happened. Did the party stick to the agreed list or was something else at play? That uncertainty is only adding fuel to the fire in an already divided UDP.
Mr. Salazar and Honorable Ugopat wrote to Alberto August. I don't know if that letter managed to reach the public, but they protested that the list was not the proper list. They changed up secretaries and chairpersons for at least 5 constituencies. They insisted that standard bearers who were status quo ante would not make the list and that they would put on their list.
And I mean no disrespect to Mr. Jose Espat Uk, who got less votes than the number of spoiled ballots in the Albert constituency. How can he sit in an NPC meeting and make decisions that affects the greater good of the party and reflects the will of the people? It makes no sense. It absolutely makes no sense.
Tracy Panton and her team were upset that former era reps Beverly Williams and John Saldivar were left off the list of names recommended for reinstatement, a move they saw as exclusionary. That was just one of the several issues that signaled Saturday's meeting was headed for failure. Following the fallout, Chairman Michael Perifit resigned again. Now Panton is calling for an immediate national leadership convention, but former Mesopotamia rep Moses Shine Barrow says the party will stick to its plan, constituency conventions first, then a national convention in October 2025.
And we will commence with either endorsement conventions or the special constituency conventions, and we will have 18 new or returning caretakers and their executives, which will then proceed to vote in the national convention for a new leadership executive. And we hope, which is why I don't want to get into, who wasn't reinstated, and I myself want to restrain myself from getting into any further bloodletting, and hope that we can move forward, keeping internal matters internal, and we can move forward reconciling and trying to bridge the gaps where there still may be differences, and have the opposition that the country is demanding and deserves.
With the UDP's leadership standoff still unresolved, we ask, will Belizeans see a united opposition anytime soon, or is that still a long way off? Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.
After the break, GST-free weekends are announced for school supplies only, but first, here's the latest weather update from the Belize Met Service.
Get ready to celebrate 50 amazing years of quality poultry products in Belize. We commemorate the occasion with a grand fair on Saturday, July 19th, starting at 8 a.m., ending at 5 p.m. Bring out the whole family. There's something for everyone to enjoy. There will be free face painting with Abby, bouncy house for the kids, free popcorn, free cotton candy while supplies last, and don't forget about our quality spin the wheel. Too many prizes to win. The DJ will be playing great music all day long. There will be 10% off groceries. Some restrictions apply. Legs and bag 50 cents off per pound. Neck and back only $12 per crate. Special discount on country meats products. So come on out and enjoy a full day of family fun. Quality poultry products celebrating 50 years of service to Belize.
Veracidad, imparcialidad.
Este es el término utilizado.
Hemos estado haciendo el trabajo como organización.
Y tus noticias en español.
Están en aguas beliceñas, entonces esta bandera se queda aquí.
Sintoniza Canal 5 cada viernes a las 7 de la noche.
Tenemos que resolver los grandes problemas de este país.
Su voz importa, su acción cuenta.
Transfusión sanguínea, elementos que indican un deterioro evidente del estado de salud.
Somos Noticiero 5 semanal.
Perdió la vida en un heroico intento de proteger a su hermano. El Tribunal de Magistrados de la ciudad de Belice se paralizó. La policía está investigando 2 asesinatos separados.
Tu fuente de información.
Stop wasting your time and money. Come to Publix, where every dollar counts. So why shop anywhere else? Find the freshest fruits and vegetables handpicked for your family. Need something quick and delicious? Our ready-made rotisserie chicken is hot and ready to go. And with Publix Rewards, you save big while shopping for everything you love and need. Publix, fresh, affordable, for you.
Serving Belizean families for 27 years.
Vote for your favorite KTV contestant by texting the number of votes followed by a space, then your contestant's number, and send it to smart code 585. Here are this week's contestants.
If you look into her eyes, you'll see the strand of my arm. They're saying, this is my message to you, you. Take my breath away if only you would stay.
While you didn't dip on the grind, just bear this in my mind. These streets don't love you like I do.
Wrap my arms around you. Of a woman like you. Oh, I don't deserve it. To experience to be taken for a stroll. To experience for someone to rock and roll. Have no fear for atomic energy, 'cause none of them can stop the time.
We were meant to be. Girl, you've always been my lover. Always been my lover.
You don't mind when you waste your time coming up with some stupid line, influencing the youth. If it's not a line, I'll take a line.
You can change the world today, and I'm living proof that crime doesn't pay.
Remember, voting ends on Sunday at midnight. And don't forget to tune in every Tuesday at 8 p.m. only on Great Jubilees Media.
You pay the bill?
Ma, I got the wallet.
So you could pay the bill now?
Yeah, I can show you.
Ah.
See? Easy.
Starting this December, the Belize Tax Service Department is making a major shift. It's going semi-autonomous. What does that mean for taxpayers and the way that department operates? Well, it's all about boosting efficiency and accountability. But unlike a traditional government office, this new setup will be guided by an advisory board with more independence. News 5 sat down with Director General Michelle Longsworth to break down what this transition really means and how it could reshape tax collection in the country.
First off, the transition to a semi-autonomous revenue authority is another phase in the reform of the tax administration. So you've seen over the past 5 years, we've undertaken several reform initiatives to improve the tax administration. And moving to a semi-autonomous revenue authority is also a very strategic decision aimed at strengthening our efficiency or accountability and the effectiveness of how we run our tax administration. So it gives us more general autonomy as SARA operates with more independence than a traditional government department for faster decision making, improved financial and human resource management, and more flexibility as it pertains to staff processes and staff compensation, and to enhance our efficiency and to continue to modernize our tax administration. So basically, that is why this is the next phase. This is nothing new. This is a part of the plan to continue the reform initiatives of the tax administration of Belize. Like many other countries, there are over maybe 50 other countries in the Caribbean, in the world, And in the Caribbean, you have countries like Jamaica, Barbados. In Latin America, you have other countries too, in Africa and in Asia. So this is not just Belize. This is an international best practice.
With big changes coming to the Belize Tax Service Department this December, one major question has been on everyone's minds. What happens to the hundreds of employees currently working there? Early reports suggested major job cuts with only 153 positions under the new structure. But Director General Michelle Longsworth is setting the record straight. She says those rumors are nothing but mischief and insists that no one is losing their job. So what's really going on behind the scenes of this transition? News 5 has the details.
I think what is being on social media is just a form of mischief making. We started having our sensitization with staff, and the first thing we say in those sensitization sessions is that this government's goal is that no one will lose their jobs. So whether staff choose to, and it's a choice, whether staff choose to transition to the SARA, they have a choice, or they can choose to remain with the public service and be put in a department in the wider public service. So no one will lose their jobs. And I think for clarity, what I need to say is that they're talking about 153 positions. Presently, the BTS has 42 positions, but we have 250 staff members. Because remember, I'll use the example, a position, a cashier position is one position, but we have a cashier at each one of our districts. So even though the cashier is one position, we have 8 staff members filling that position. So 153 position does not mean 153 bodies. So that is where the mischief making is, and I need to clarify that because it is positions we're talking about. We're not talking about the actual incumbent that will hold those positions.
When it comes to the SARA approach or the statutory body approach, who then become the overall managing authority of the Belize Tax Service as it moves in this direction?
So it's not a statutory body. It's a semi-autonomous revenue authority. It's not even a full-blown revenue authority. So we will still fall under the Ministry of Finance, but we will be governed by an advisory board. The revenue that we are presently collecting will continue to be deposited in the consolidated fund. So it's not a statutory body. All right, so that needs to be clear.
Back to school shopping just got a little lighter on the wallet, at least for a couple of weekends. Cabinet has declared July 31st to August 2nd and August 15th to 17th as GST-free weekends. But before you rush to the checkout, here's the catch. It only applies to school supplies. That detail didn't make it into the initial cabinet release, but Director General of the Belize Tax Service Department, Michelle Longsworth, is clearing things up. She says no one's being misled, and her team is already working with stores across the country to make sure shoppers know what exactly qualifies.
When you look at the information that exists, you have school supplies that are already zero rated and are already exempt. Okay, so we've listed those and we've only added a few additional like uniform material, ready-made uniforms and other stationery supplies. So we're presently working on that to do the projection.
Just to be clear, this is not only for school supplies or is solely for school supplies?
Solely for school supplies. And I think those are some of the queries we have been getting since morning, because persons feel that they can go to the store like it was in December, but that's not correct. It is only for school supplies. It's for helping the Belizean public who have to incur these expenses to send their children back to school come this school year. So it's only for school supplies. The announcement and notices that we're putting out will list the school supplies that will be GST free. So I urge the general public and the businesses to refer to that list that we are putting out to ensure that those are the only items that GST is removed from.
So essentially, I could, if my corner store sells school supplies, it applies to that corner store even if they don't specialize or in school supplies.
Correct. So in many cases, and I can use like maybe the Asians, if you go into one of the Asian stores, you'll see maybe they have a section that sells pencils, markers, calculators. Some of them even sell like Bristol board and stuff like that. Those will also be part of it. So you can go into your regular corner store and they must remove the GST from the items listed. So
when we return, ketchup or no ketchup on your Garnaches?
Here's how to access your contribution history on the My Social Security portal. First, go to your browser and type ssbportal.org.bz. Enter your email and password, then click Log In. Once logged in, you'll see your full portal account on the screen. On the left-hand side, you'll notice a drop-down menu for added features. Click on History. Choose Contributions. Read the disclaimer, then click Continue. You'll now see a full window displaying your contribution history. In the table, each row represents a different year. For example, let's look at the year 2024. Click on the row and a detailed breakdown will appear. This breakdown includes your employer's name, your earnings for each month and week, contribution type, the amounts paid, and that's how you can explore the new contribution feature on the My Social Security portal. It's quick, easy, and keeps your Social Security information right at your fingertips. Create your account today.
Unwrap the joy of crystal clear picture and sound from Aiwa, the brand that offers you affordability and exceptional quality. Aiwa has a wide range of exceptional products to choose from, such as TVs, speakers, headphones, home appliances, and much more at affordable prices that won't break the bank. Enhance your audio-visual entertainment experience with Aiwa, and for your convenience, parts are readily available in country for hassle-free maintenance. You can find Aiwa products at your local electronics store countrywide. Choose Aiwa, the best in home entertainment and household appliances.
Vote for your favorite KTV contestant by texting the number of votes followed by a space, then your contestant's number, and send it to smart code 585. Here are this week's contestants.
If you look into her eyes, you'll see the strand of mine. They're saying, this is my message to you, you. Take my breath away if only you would stay.
Why you didn't dip on the grind? Just bear this in my mind. These streets don't love you like I do.
Wrap my arms around you. Of a woman like you. Oh, I don't deserve it. To experience to be taken for a show. To experience for someone to rock and roll.
Have
have no fear for atomic energy, 'cause none of them can stop the time.
We were meant to be. Girl, you've always been my lover. Always been my lover.
You don't mind when you waste your time coming up with some stupid line, influencing the youth, them to snort a line or take a lie.
You can change the world today, and I'm living proof that crime doesn't pay.
Remember, voting ends on Sunday at midnight, and don't forget to tune in every Tuesday at 8 p.m. only on Greater Belize Media.
Oh man, one more scroll and my data is done.
Wait, who said anything about running out? Smart just dropped a more powerful plan that now includes social media data, so you can scroll till your fingers cramp. Visit any Smart showroom to sign up today because connectivity just got even better. Smart, bringing people together.
It's one of Belize's favorite street foods and also one of its most debated. We're talking about Garnaches. But here's a question that's got people fired up. Ketchup or no ketchup? In the north, tradition says, hold the ketchup. But in Belize City, many wouldn't dream of eating Garnaches without it. So to get to the bottom of this tasty debate, News 5's Tanya Arceo hit the streets of downtown Belize City to find out where people stand. Here's what they had to say.
Garnaches, one of Belize's most beloved street foods, has kicked off a public debate to ketchup or not to ketchup. It's been the talk of the town for days, and I decided to jump right into the middle of it. So I grabbed a plate of Garnaches without ketchup, of course, and hit the streets to find out where Belizeans stand on this flavorful face-off.
I came to buy some Garnaches. What I'm trying to figure out is if people eat it with or without ketchup. But we will find out right now. Do you have Garnaches?
Yes. With or without ketchup?
I like my Garnaches with ketchup.
People who come from north, they like it without ketchup. The city people, they like it with ketchup.
Do you prefer your Garnaches with or without ketchup?
For me, I would prefer both. I sometimes like it with, but also without.
Do you prefer your Garnaches with or without ketchup?
Without ketchup, because it's the first time I ever heard about anyone eating Garnaches with ketchup.
I would say without ketchup.
Honestly, I'll leave it at ketchup a little bit, yeah.
Without, definitely without.
Me, I like it with everything. Ketchup, pepper, the works.
Whether you like your Garnaches drenched in ketchup or prefer them the traditional way, one thing's for sure, Belizeans loved your street food. This may have started as a simple question, but it's turned into the unofficial national food debate. And from the looks of it, the battle isn't over just yet. I'm Tanya Arceo reporting for News 5 from the front lines of flavor.
It's been nearly 5 decades since she last took the stage solo, but now Belizean artist Maureen Utzman is making a powerful return. Her new theatrical showcase, Stories of My Life, is more than just a performance. It's a heartfelt tribute to memory, resilience, and the voices of women over 70. Hosted by the Institute of Creative Arts, the show will take place at the Bliss Center for Performing Arts and features a special appearance by the legendary vocalist Nelita Castillo.
So tomorrow we have here at the Bliss the production by Maureen Utzman. It's a one-woman production entitled Stories of My Life, Women Over 70 Making Their Voices Heard. This is Maureen Utzman's biographical play that she's presenting. She very much desired a career in the theater arts, in maybe even contributing to Belize in this way. However, as as her play will unfold, you will hear that her life took many unforeseen twists and turns, but through all of it, she always kept this spirit of resilience and determination, and that is really, something that I think you best come to experience what that story is. It's really inspirational, I think, for all.
It's a celebration of life, legacy, and the strength of storytelling. The Garifuna language is in trouble, and those working to preserve it say the time to act is now. Earlier this week, we showed you how children at the Leo Bradley Library are reconnecting with their roots via the Garifuna language retrieval through music program. But it's not just for kids. Today we hear from one of the program's passionate instructors who says the language is open to everyone, young or old, Garifuna or not. News 5's Brittany Gordon has more on the growing movement to keep this vibrant language alive.
When you think of Garifuna music, chances are Andy Palacios' iconic Watina comes to mind. But there's a new rhythm rising, one that's not just about the beat, but about saving a language. For over 30 years, James Lavelle has been on a mission to keep Garifuna language alive. He's taken that mission around the world, using one of the most powerful tools he knows, music. Through song, he's teaching a new generation and anyone willing to learn that Garifuna isn't just a language of the past, it's a living, breathing part of Belize's cultural soul.
It's something that I've developed, like I said, and I first started it with my children who were born, some of them who were born in the States, and I realized that I'm not teaching them Garifuna as often as I was supposed to. And then it dawned on me on a November 19th, so many years ago, and then ever since then, I start, speaking the simple salutation words in Garifuna to my children. And then I realized that I can change songs or transpose songs from English into Garifuna.
Born and raised in Dangriga, Lavelle was steeped in Garifuna culture, its food, clothing, and music, and has seen firsthand how the popularity of the language has declined. Now, Lavelle travels the world, teaching Garifuna to anyone willing to learn.
I've worked teaching Garifuna in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and I've done it in New York, I've done it in Dangriga, I've done it practically, as a matter of fact, I was doing it in Nicaragua recently. And I have to say, Brittany, the state of the Garifuna nation, it's in dire needs, it's in dire straits.
It was music, culture, and language all wrapped into one at the Leo Bradley Library in Belize City, where the final notes of the Garifuna language retrieval through music program rang out. Garifuna preservationist Angela Palacio led the charge, wrapping up the last day of this creative initiative aimed at getting kids excited about their roots.
We kept our language because in St. Vincent they were not able to speak the language because they would be shot. So we preserved, and we were able to go back and teach in St. Vincent our language and stuff like that. However, even though we preserved, the young people were losing it because we're not speaking it to our children. So it's very vital that we teach it to the children and that the parents learn as well.
One enthusiastic student was Armani Smith, who was eager to share what he'd learned so far.
What is the best part of this entire session?
Probably because I get to learn our culture.
What is something that you've learned so far?
Probably about songs, like numbers, and people like talk to the Garifuna people.
Tell me one thing that you've learned so far. Say a phrase for me.
BT Benafile.
When it comes to preserving the Garifuna language, James Lavelle is focused on more than just the kids. He's bringing the grown-ups into the classroom too. And as a part of his mission, Lavelle hosted a special Train the Teacher session. giving adults the tools to teach Garifuna, even if they're not fluent themselves. His approach? Keep it simple, keep it musical, and keep it accessible. Lavelle says teaching adults isn't all that different from how he teaches children. It's all about creating a space where learning feels natural and fun.
There's definitely got to be similarities because some of the teachers who I will be teaching later on, some of them might not know how to speak the language. But what I'll do, I'm going to teach them the same song that I'm teaching the kids, and when they learn how to sing these songs and they recorded it, okay, then they can use technology now by just taking the recording and play it for the children.
Progress might be slow, but it's steady, and for Angela Palacio, that's what matters. She believes that if there are people willing to learn, the fight to save the Garifuna language is far from over.
I think we have a lot of work to do. People see the importance, but they don't take it seriously. So we just have to try our part, and hopefully they'll grow up to realize that it is endangered.
And here's the beautiful part. This isn't just for Garifuna communities. No matter your age or background, all Belizeans are being encouraged to dive into the culture and help keep the Garifuna language alive. Because saving it isn't just about preserving the past. It's about protecting a piece of who we are before it's lost for good. Brittany Gordon for News 5.
Up next, fathers who show up. Arthur Usher on redefining dad duty.
This is where blue innovation meets green ambition and orange creativity thrives. Join us for the Belize Investment Summit 2025, September 3rd to 5th at the Sunset Caribe in San Pedro. This is the future of regional integration, and it starts here. Whether you're returning home, expanding regionally, or entering new markets, Belize welcomes you. Why Belize? Why now? Belize Investment Summit 2025. Bridging markets, building resilience. September 3rd to 5th, Sunset Caribe, San Pedro. Visit investmentsummit.bz to register and be part of shaping the investment frontier.
KTV contestant by texting the number of votes followed by a space, then your contestant's number, and send it to smart code 585. Here are this week's contestants.
If you look into her eyes, you'll see the strand of a They're saying, this is my message to you, you. Take my
you didn't step on the grind. Just bear this in my mind. These streets don't love you like I do.
Wrap my arms around you. Oh, a woman like you. Oh, I don't deserve it. To experience to be taken for a stroll. to experience for someone to rock and roll.
Have no fear for atomic energy, 'cause none of them can stop the time.
We were meant to be. Girl, you've always been my lover. Always been my lover. You don't mind when you waste your time coming up with some stupid line, influencing the youth and to snort a line or take a line.
You can change the world today, and I'm living proof that crime doesn't pay.
Remember, voting ends on Sunday at midnight, and don't forget to tune in every Tuesday at 8 p.m. only on Great Jubilees Media.
Let's all be safe during the rainy season. Belize Electricity Limited reminds you that heavy rains can cause flooding in your neighborhood and on roads. Avoid driving or walking in flooded areas, which can have hidden dangers such as debris and fallen power lines. Belize Electricity Limited cares about your safety. Please stay safe.
One more stroll and my data is done.
Wait, who said anything about running out? Smart just dropped a more powerful plan that now includes social media data, so you can scroll till your fingers cramp. Visit any Smart showroom to sign up today because connectivity just got even better. Smart, bringing people together.
We often talk about the importance of mothers in shaping a child's life, and rightly so. But today we're turning the spotlight on fathers, the quiet heroes whose presence, love, and guidance can make all the difference. A father's role goes beyond providing. It's about showing up with heart, with purpose, and with consistency. This month, we set out to find fathers who are doing just that, men who are not only raising the children, but raising the bar. And this week, our very own Sabrina Daly sat down with one such dad, Arthur Usher. He's a dedicated social worker and, more importantly, a devoted father. Here's what he had to say about what it truly means to be a dad.
Meet Arthur Usher, a social worker by day, and more importantly, a hands-on, heart-first dad to his 13-year-old son, Arthur Jr. When Arthur first found out he was going to be a dad, he was hit with a wave of emotions. Joy? Absolutely. But also a fair bit of anxiety.
I was scared. I think it's a frightening thought, no? For me, I think it was more along the line of the immense responsibility. So understanding the responsibility now to literally mold a human being, it's a great mind trip sometimes, because you're like, oh, what I want to do? Suppose I mess up.
There's no manual for parenting, no step-by-step guide that fits every child. Instead, parents often develop their own rhythm, shaped by experience, instinct, and love. For Arthur Usher, good parenting starts with seeing your child for who they really are, not who you thought they'd be.
For me, it's understanding what he is in himself and try to bring that out. So I'm not trying too much to force him one way or the other, but it's more of guidance. So my approach has been, I'm trying to guide you through life, and so the best way I can do that is what I'll try to do.
Ask any child what matters most, and chances are, it's not perfection, it's presence. For 13-year-old Arthur Jr., the value of his father's love isn't found in grand gestures, but in the everyday moments they share. he had no trouble pointing out the ones he holds closest to his heart.
My dad is a hard-working person, and he always makes time to play video games and teach me how to play basketball better and a bunch of other stuff when he's free. Even when he has a lot of work to do and people are calling him a lot, he still makes time for me and the family.
He has seen it too many times. As a social worker, Arthur's on the front lines, witnessing the impact that growing up without a father can have on a child. It's personal for him, not just professional. For him, the absence of a father figure isn't just a statistic. It's a driving force behind many of the struggles today's youth are facing.
I think a lot of our social issues that we're seeing Belize right now is because of a lack of fatherhood. And that level of mentorship. Fathers and mothers lead and guide in different ways. And so the child does need both. And however they can get both, because we tend to put a lot of strain on nuclear systems and nuclear families and so, but it doesn't necessarily have to be that way.
The presence of a father in the home helped shape a child's sense of stability, identity, and emotional well-being. Arthur Usher Sr. understands this not just through his work, but through the daily responsibility of raising his own son. For him, fatherhood isn't just about showing up. It's about showing up with purpose.
I want to be present. For me, the main thing is trying to be present and trying to be active and not and trying to be open. I think that's one of the main things that I've learned over the years, especially in this field, is you truly have to listen.
I don't know how, but sometimes when I need help with work or need help with, I would tell my dad stuff and he would tell me how to relate to it and how he relate to it. Like I would tell him about my friends and then he would tell me what his friends did and how he managed it.
As parents, hoping you're doing it right is often a good sign you're on the right track. Some say a true indicator is how your children show up, in their confidence, and the way they express themselves. We asked Arthur Jr. what inspires him about his dad. And well, his response might be an indicator that his dad's doing all right.
He inspired me to push myself beyond my limits, because when I'm in basketball, every time I play, he always tells me, make sure you're aggressive, make sure you do what the others aren't doing. So I always try and remember that.
Looking on the bright side, I'm Sabrina Daly.
And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available at greaterbelize.com, on our Facebook and on YouTube. Remember to stay tuned as Noticiero 5 Semanal is up next. I'm Jamie Rock. Thanks for joining us. From all of us here at News 5, have a happy and safe weekend. Good night.